Welcome to Comfort Heaven number 2. This is my last video for tonight. No, I'm not on Instagram right now. Alright. So, I tell you guys that I would have to do the story of my walking tall stick. So initially I got this stick to bludgeon one of my sister's baby daddies. Because they used to fuck with me all the time. And so I decided that if the law won't let me whip his ass, then I'll just have to kill his ass. So that never happened. But I was going to kill someone else with this stick. So someone who recently passed, God rest his soul. So let me give you the story now. Alright, so initially I found the stick to go after one of my sister's baby daddies or whatever. Because I'm a small guy, and at the time, he was just so young that I really couldn't touch him. But the guy that I was going to go with the second time that I pulled out this old stick, and I found this stick the same time that The Rock came out with his version of Walking Tall. So instead of being Buford Posser, I forgot The Rock's character, but, special treatment, special forces. So I never finished filing it and sanding it down. I was going to, come off all of this. But, as you can see, it's got a sharp edge. So it's easier for me to make this thing like Negan's Lucille. But yeah, so I was having a really bad day. And a young man who passed away was drunk. And he was messing with me while I was having a bad day. So that's two bad factors right there. So you know that something bad was about to happen. So I told him to leave me alone. And had he done that, this wouldn't be a story. Because it would have never happened. So, as I'm going into the house, he pushes me. Now, I'm a strong believer in defending yourself. I'm a strong believer in fight until you can't. But don't start them, only finish them. So what had happened was, he wouldn't leave me alone. And I tried to walk away. Because in martial arts, they always teach you to walk away from a fight if you can. And if you can't, may God have mercy on the person that you are about to fuck up. The senseis never said I had to have mercy. They just said that I should be merciful. There is a difference, people. Trust me on that. So when he pushed me, I didn't fall down on my face. But without haste, I went to the basement and got my walking tall stick. I don't think I was in that basement for more than maybe 10 seconds. That's how fast I got this stick and came back up the house. And this idiot was walking back across the street, and I said, okay, see, you want to fuck with me, and now I'm going to have to fucking kill you. Because you're bigger than me, so let's level the playing field. Now, freeze, you guys see my martial art videos, you know I'm about my shit. But when a person who likes to fight has to go pick up an object, fighting is over. It's all about me committing a homicide now. Or a genocide, or an annihilation, just depending on who gets in the way, which would be the title that the cops would have to put it on. So the young man took off, because this guy and me were in hot pursuit. So I caught him across the street at the house of people who I will not name, and I had him cornered, until my Aunt G came along, and she talked me down. I had him. And I had him good. And I was like, I'm going to end this shit once and for all. Because I ain't never been through no shit. But I'm going to put you through some shit. Because those was the words that he was saying to me, because he was one of up north type motherfuckers. And, up north, let me try to say this without pissing off people from New York. A lot of people from up north in New York and in Philly and in Detroit think that it's where you from that makes you a badass. Well, I'm from Virginia. And it ain't where you from that makes you a badass. It's what the hell you can do that makes you a badass. I like fighting. But sometimes you have to end a fight permanently. That's what this fucker here was for. Ending fights permanently. I had reached my breaking point with that fella. And I drew that sumbitch up. And I was about to come down. So my aunt goes, do you really want to go to prison for this guy? I said, I'm not going to prison. He's bigger than me. He assaulted me in my house. I chased him over here. I'm going to bludgeon him to death over here. And I'm going to drag his ass back across the street and throw him back in my house. So when the cops get to my house, they're going to find this son bitch beat the fuck up in my house. The law works in mysterious ways. People try to remember that. So she talked me down. I forgot the speech that she gave me, but it was a pretty good speech because I'm still here and I'm free. Gave me enough time to grow up and go to the army so that everybody else can have a life. But, you know, I have reached the point of no return. Had my aunt not been there to calm my little ass down, there would be no Kung Fu Havoc anymore for another 7 or 8 more years because they probably would have gave me 40 years to life. Being that I was still in my 20s, I probably would be getting out within the next 10 years. So, you know, I was going to hurt him really badly. I since have found better outlets of using my martial arts. I also since have had a hip replacement, so I've had to slow down a lot. But for those on Kung Fu Havoc number 2, you should know, when I give you the whole 1,000, I give you the whole 1,000. Had he not touched me, that shit would never happen. Had he just let me go about my business, because I was already having a bad day, it would have been fine. So, we caught up with each other the next day, and no, I did not have my walking tall stick. I was by myself, and I come up on him, I said, let me tell you something. If you ever come near me again, I'm going to kill you. And I'm not going to use my stick this time. I'm going to use my fucking hands and my feet. And so he's like, hold on, dude. Let me apologize. I was drunk. Everybody told me what I done. So let me apologize. And I told him, I don't give a damn. I know you were drunk. But here's the one thing about the drunkenness. When people are drunk, they always tell the truth. So let me break it to you again. I don't give a fuck if you get drunk. But if you get drunk and come near me, it's going to be the last thing you do before you meet Jesus. Because I'm not going to give you any mercy. You are bigger than me. By a whole foot. Because he's in the 6-foot range. I said, you are heavier than me. Because he outweighed me by a good 30 some odd pounds. No court in the land is going to lock my ass up. Because when they run our background check, this was before I got into the military, the only thing they're going to find on me is, yeah, he's got a fuck ton of speeding tickets. When they go back on this young man's background, he's been to jail a few times. He's done a few illegal paraphernalia stuff. He's got a record. So who you think the courts are really going to go with? Are they going to go with the guy who's never broken the law and is trying to make a better life for himself? Or are they going to guy who just can't stay the fuck out of trouble? Why would a guy who's never done nothing illegal break the fucking law? Because he was being pestered. Because he was being fucked with. Because somebody decided to fuck up his day. Surely there's going to be a judge that's going to go against everything I said. But then you have the court of public opinion. Why are you going to lock up a man who's only done speeding tickets versus he beat a drug dealer to death? He beat a drug user to death. He beat someone that no one's really going to fucking miss to death. It could be anybody. Now, the one good thing I had going for me is that it would have been a black-on-black crime. And the only thing that they would have said when they looked at me, they wouldn't even have thought that I was black. So they're like, okay, black guy drops Mexican guy, so we don't put the Mexican in jail. We still kind of win that out. Versus we put the Mexican in jail for killing a black guy, it becomes a racial issue. Being mixed does has its advantages. That being said, the young man that I'm speaking of, if he did those things, he did those things. Clearly he did something because he was drunk when he came at me. But he is dead and gone now, and we rest his soul, and we thank God that I got to know him. And I knew him before he was drunk, and this shit happened. But the base of the story is, I was going to use this walking tall stick to bludgeon him. So try to remember, when you get into some trouble, or if you get drunk and can't hold your liquor, that you should probably bite your tongue and keep your mouth shut. But for the most part, you should just be easy, because you might come across somebody with a walking tall stick and no conscience, or no self-worth, or don't care about the freedom, and you'll be behind the 8 ball. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm going to give you one more video. Be seeing you.